Hi, Sean. Izzy Scain's name is now at the top of NCAA record books, and she has helped pave the way for the Wildcats to have the second highest scoring offense in the country. I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, and I'm here at Navy Pier, one of the top destinations in Chicago for visitors. Hi, Jasmine. The Cubs and White Sox first met all the way back in 1906, and next week, the rivalry is renewed. Hi, Anaya. The encampment was removed early Tuesday morning, and it wasn't without conflict. Take a look at these social media videos that depict several police officers tearing down tents, makeshift walls, and art from the encampment. No arrests were made, however students were moved outside the quad, though a standoff did occur between the students and university police later in the morning. Earlier this week, I visited the encampment and spoke with students and faculty as they voiced their opinions. While the Democratic National Convention isn't until August, President Joe Biden will have already received the party's nomination. Democrats will call a virtual roll call vote to nominate the president. The reason for the action? To bypass an Ohio law that allows Biden's name to be on the ballot come November. But without the nomination occurring, will the number of visitors decrease? Up north on the DePaul campus, my colleague Sean Graney spoke with protesters about what they're demanding. About 9:30 on Sunday night, the encampment and students were notified that their time of immunity was up at midnight. They were expecting a full raid by University of Chicago police. However, 11 hours later, nothing has happened. The encampment still stands behind me. For the Chicago Bears, they kicked things off taking Caleb Williams at the first overall pick and following it up with wide receiver Rome Odunze with number 9. The 118-year rivalry between the Cubs and Sox takes place here at Bridgeport and Guaranteed Rate Field and here at Wrigley Field, as the Cubs will play host to their crosstown rivals on June 4th and 5th. It's not hard to find others taking advantage of this warmer weather, especially here on Lakefront Trail. This is the 34th straight day without any measurable snowfall here in Chicago, and the lack of ice here on Lake Michigan does raise concerns. Here at the UNLV campus around the Thomas and Mack Center, many students I spoke to didn't go to any games this season or at all during their time here at UNLV. Owner Jerry Reinsdorf and the White Sox are still locked in here at Guaranteed Rate Field through 2028, with an additional $50 million still owed on the current stadium. It's unknown whether or not the South Loop Stadium will come to fruition. I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, and this is Chicago This Week Sports. What a week for the Chicago Bears with number 1 draft pick Caleb Williams, number 9 Rome Odunze. Fans are so optimistic, I was lucky enough to watch the draft live in Detroit. I got immediate reactions as the picks were announced. There were more picks for the Bears throughout the week. Joining me live now to break it all down is Medill sports reporter Dominic Ferreira. Hi, Dominic.
Hey, Kaycee.
It's time for basketball. Kaycee, the 1992 Dream Team, that was the first that we saw professional NBA players play in the Olympics. Players like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird, those were some of the key names to be a part of that first team. But for women, it was a little bit later when they got their dominating start.
Yeah, Caleb, 1996 was when the women really started dominating on the Olympic stage, winning 7 straight, now looking for number 8 this year. First amount of picks in the NFL draft. Do you think that they made a big enough splash with their picks? If the Bears do go on to become a dominant team in the NFL, then what a better way to enjoy the games than by watching them in a brand new stadium. The team has shared their vision for a future home. Jasmine Thomas was at the unveiling, and she joins us now with the images and the price tag. And the Bears addressed the offensive line in the draft, drafting Hinsdale's own Karan Abagaji. What do you make of that selection? Wrigley Field was built in 1914. It's the second oldest ballpark in the majors, and it's been the home of the Cubs for more than a century. But last Friday night, the field hosted some special guests. King Jemison was at the game. Hi, King. Today, we highlight Chicago's own Jewel Lloyd, who played in the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo and now has her eyes on Paris. Northwestern Wildcats are Big Ten champions. Again. Women's lacrosse beat Michigan for the title. Karina Wilson has that story. Well, it's no surprise that the new season can't come fast enough for die-hard fans. Bears merchandise is already flying off the shelves. Sean Graney has more on the jersey that has already broken records. Right, Sean? The Illinois High School Association playoffs are coming up, and one boys volleyball team in Niles is hoping for the big things. Our Caleb Nixon talked to that team at Notre Dame College Prep, and he joins us now with more. After forming as a union in August 2022, the Howard Brown Health Workers United are still bargaining for their first contract with the LGBTQ+ medical clinic. As the picket signs filled the air around the clinic entrance, cars passing by signaled their support.
So our boycott is slowing down the business, and that is unfortunate. We don't. Also, that is a community on our side.
Get down!
Yet, on November 8th, Howard Brown issued its last, best, and final offer to the union.
We began working with the federal mediator last Friday. The mediator looked through our proposals, looked at our sustainability plan, and listened to our union partners. I'm not going to deny that we've had brown water at our sites. The plumbing is very old, particularly at our 63rd Street site. But we've worked with the city to make improvements. I mean, one of the big challenges that staff have had at our 63rd Street site is the internet is slow. And when you're staff working at a site where you feel like you don't have regular and sufficient access to the internet, you feel like your organization is not investing in you.
Support of the union and its fight, Spraggins believes, is fundamental to receiving a fair contract.
This has not been an easy fight. It's been going on more than a year. We really do need community support.
Anytime you get to opening day, spring's right around the corner. So it's, better days are ahead.
Opening day in Major League Baseball is a signal of warmer weather, the smell of hot dogs, and America's pastime of baseball. The White Sox opening day provides just that, with many extending their streaks of attending opening day.
This is probably my 12th opening day.
It's my 3rd year.
It's in the 30s.
48 years, baby!
Through the countless opening series in Bridgeport, fans have developed their own traditions. This includes Mackenzie Riffett, who moved to Tampa but still made it back to spend the day with her family at Wings and Rings.
This is like a tradition to come to this restaurant and then go to the Sox game. So it's just a great feeling, it's family.
For other fans like Dan Coletta, opening day brings back significant memories.
We love opening day. I got engaged on an opening day at the old ballpark, so it's a tradition for me and my wife, who grew up a Cubs fan, so we've converted her to Sox fans.
Many fans don't expect much from the season, but some are optimistic.
Forget about the naysayers. We're going all the way in the Central Division.
The White Sox were swept in their opening series to the Detroit Tigers. However, Riffett believes there's one major upside to Sox games.
If you're coming, you better be friendly, because everybody's friendly, I'd say.
From Bridgeport and Chicago, I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, Chicago This Week.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams will, in fact, be the best quarterback in the NFC North, top 5 QB in the NFL.
Many Bears fans made the 4.5-hour drive to Detroit to see their team kick off the NFL Draft. For Jordan Howell, the Williams pick is a new dawn for the team.
I was super excited, man. I'm ready for this team to be amazing again. 15-2. That's what I see coming out of this year.
We on the clock right now. The pick is in. I'm calling it before. I can see the future. We getting Roma Dunze.
Chicago Bears select.
For the Chicago Bears, they kicked things off taking Caleb Williams at the first overall pick and following it up with wide receiver Roma Dunze with number 9.
We need a lot of help on the O-line, on the D-end, at receiver. So with such a stacked draft class, I just feel like we can't go wrong.
By day 3, the draft became the most attended ever with over 700,000 passing through the gates. Bears fans, however, began to dwindle, but some still made the commute even for just a day.
We actually just came in this morning to do the 3rd day of it, and my son is a huge football fan.
I like the Bears better than the Lions because I'm from Chicago, but I like them both.
Draft weekend was consumed by 2 words for Bears fans.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down, baby! Bear down, baby!
Reporting from Detroit, I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, Chicago This Week.
university is clearly scrambling incoherently and backed into a corner because it doesn't know how to reckon with a movement this powerful.
After 1 week of the University of Chicago's pro-Palestinian encampment, the university has prepared to intervene. Tents popped up on April 29th and continued all week long. On May 3rd, as a counter-protest began, including a confrontation between students, President Paul Alvisato stated, "The encampment has created systematic disruption of campus. Our students have issued a torrent of reports of disrupted classroom learning. I stated that we would only intervene if free expression blocks the learning or expression of others. Without an agreement to end the encampment, we have reached that point." About 9:30 on Sunday night, the encampment and students were notified that their time of immunity was up at midnight. They were expecting a full raid by University of Chicago police. However, 11 hours later, nothing has happened. The encampment still stands behind me.
The resilience of the camp in the face of these constant threats gives me a very strong optimism overall that we have created a movement that the university does not have its usual resources to lean on in responding to. It can't just quote the Calvin Report or something.
Many faculty members have joined with students and held a press conference Monday morning.
In order to honor the university's long-standing commitment to free expression, administrators have an obligation to allow for continued peaceful protest.
As a Palestinian faculty member, I'm the only Palestinian faculty member, in fact, and there was never a check-in on my safety or my well-being or how my family is doing. The university has been very clear that those things don't matter.
It's very important that people understand that we are not the story. As UChicago students, that this camp is not the story, Columbia is not the story, campus tensions nationwide are not the story. The story is Gaza, first and foremost.
From Hyde Park in Chicago, I'm Kaycee Clark-Mellott, Chicago This Week. The week as an opportunity to highlight the museum as a point of civic pride. In the past, exceptions have been made for both parties to allow the convention to still serve as the location for the nomination. However, arguments among Ohio politicians led the committee to bypass the law completely. This didn't stop the Ohio legislature from entering a special session. After the session was announced, the Republican governor, Mike DeWine, released the following statement. While I understand the Democratic National Committee has just proposed a workaround to help get President Biden on the Ohio ballot, it is prudent legislation be passed to get this done. As I previously said, we do not want to leave something so basic as having the sitting President of the United States on the ballot to others when this can and should be done legislatively. It's the right thing to do.
One long shot. Thunder now up 1-0 over the Mavs in the semi.
On May 18th, 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down PAPSA. The Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act was a long-standing law that prevented states from legalizing sports gambling. For nearly 24 years, Nevada was the only location where you could legally bet on sports.
We also saw an influx of people picking the brains of the books makers, and I think what it did was it had many states asking the Nevada Gaming Commission, how are you doing this? What are your safeguards?
For Illinois, March 2022 served as a major milestone for the sports gambling industry in the state. After countless executive orders by Governor J.B. Pritzker fighting for the issue, the state finally allowed online registration for sports gambling. And with this change, a record-setting month came with $79 million in revenue coming that very next month. It made the game much easier to access for the general public. The ease vastly increased usage in Illinois. A year prior, the monthly average was about $45.4 million, peaking in November of 2022 at $78.2 million. But fast forward to the year after, the average becomes $74.6 million, with 4 different months breaking the state's revenue record, and March 2023 as the first month to break the $100 million mark. Since, there have been 3 more months to eclipse this mark for the state, and January 2024 marks the highest revenue to date with $129 million. It appears more users continue to join as well. According to the American Gaming Association, expected Super Bowl bettors increased from 50 million in 2023 to 68 million in 2024. If you've seen any of the major sports leagues sponsored by sportsbooks telling you how easy it is to win or how much money you can get in free bets, don't be surprised when that continues and even more promotion occurs. The sports gaming industry is growing and it's not going to stop. One thing that is easy is how easy it is to bet, especially on these apps. So just a quick verification, a couple clicks, and you've placed your bet, hopefully responsibly.
We just walked over this. To the other side. Go! Spread out! I just... Not start. I'm not doing it. Family on 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Family. Go, 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 lady. Come out right there. Coming out right there. Hurt. Pass. I hear first down. That's it. Let's go. Come on, Chloe.
Good, Danny. That was perfect. Now I got it. You gotta concentrate.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. That's you.
One and two. One is on. Two in his own.
Scissors? Yeah. Scissors pass? Yeah. Okay, you know scissors pass?
One is on. Two in his own. Go!
Sorry.
You have to keep your heads up high. You have to pick each other up. Look where we got. Let's make something cool happen. We do not go undefeated to lose here. Yeah, let's go. Come on. 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3!
Taft! 1, 2, 3!
Hook 'em, which is where the safeties, corners drop back, the safeties cross, and it works so good for some reason.
you go, Laura.